Hey gang, I ended up yesterday at the medical clinic. And I got some meds. I got Seroquel, which mellowed me out. Definitely helped me sleep. Because first thing the social worker asked me was, "Am I eating?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm definitely eating." He said, "Are you sleeping?" I said, "No, I'm definitely not sleeping." So that was the first thing. So I think I slept a good 15 hours now on two Seroquels. And I woke up with the realization that I had fallen back into the trap, into the anxiety trap, into the world is dangerous trap, into the trap that I was raised to be existing in, which I do believe my parents exist in, so it's not like they tried to get me in a way they weren't trapped. Um, but I realized that once I learned how to make enough money, once I learned how to make money again as much as I wanted to, in other words, the more I worked, the more I made, I got caught in that trap again, just like so many people. Even in my little business running around, one man band collecting cans, I developed a system, and the system swallowed me up. Because what I ended up doing was trying to make more and more money in order to be more and more well fed and have more and more weed so that I can work more and more and make more and more money and have more and more weed. And this morning I woke up hungry. Last night I went to bed hungry, and I realized that there's nothing wrong with going to bed hungry. It actually keeps the mind stimulated. Whereas when you gorge on food and you're always satiated, I think at least my mind tends to get a little bit lazy, I suppose, and just want to absorb information rather than create. I guess you gotta be a little bit hungry. So right now I'm really hungry. I'm waiting to eat. I can only go down in an hour. I'll only be eating in an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes. But I not only got Seroquel to calm me down, I luckily got Concerta, a light dose, to stimulate me. So it's a stimulant. I did research before to see which stimulant was good for PTSD, and it seemed like the methyl hydrates, the Ritalin based, which Concerta is the best. I had this prescription, and it made me so happy. It really put me in a good mood, a little bit manic, and I think it was very good for me. I don't know. I haven't taken one yet. I'm going to take one probably on the way down to breakfast. I don't know what to expect, but I know it won't be bad. Um, the other option I had was Vyvanse, but Vyvanse is an amphetamine, and I've got to say the amphetamines, they are just too strong. I mean, they do the job, but they end up getting you addicted. They do the job so well, and before you know it, you're depressed. And sure enough, when I did research on Vyvanse and PTSD, one of the first questions or comments or forum posts was about that PTSD and Vyvanse, and they were depressed. I think that happened to me too. Get very stimulated, but it's not the same. I can compare methyl hydrates, Concerta, more to cocaine, and the stimulants like Adderall or Vyvanse more like ecstasy. And the thing with cocaine is that it's all go, go, go. The thing with ecstasy is you have a very big rush, and then you have a very long period of being mellow and all romantic and lovey-dovey, but it's kind of a depressed feeling. I mean, it's a good feeling on MDMA, but even at the end of MDMA, people are really down, really depressed. Um, and with cocaine or crack, at the end of it, you're anxious. I don't think there's as much depression. Anyhow, so what I've decided to do for the internet is just probably let it go for a while. I'll find out what my reconnection fee is. I think I do need at least 10, 20 days without it because what I have to admit is I really do have an external locus of control. I really cannot get anything done unless I have someone next to me, beside me, in my life, motivating me. Not even motivating me. If I had a girlfriend, I'd be working hard, motivated for her. But I don't seem to be that motivated for myself. I have to get it from I am motivated for myself. I just can't. It's hard to say. Hard to explain. I just need something external, kind of prodding me. So I know what's going to work. I'm just going to cut my internet, and then what's going to be my locus, external control, will be the fact that I don't have the internet. So when I boot up my machine, I'll have nothing to do other than finally get down to business and learn how to create the videos I want to create, flesh out my book more to the point that it's at least halfway done, or even a quarter, because I would say now it's maybe 10%, and it's just doesn't have the structure that I have in my mind. There's a lot of things that I want to take care of, and it seems like this YouTube will not let me. It's not just the YouTube, I realize, also my cell phone. I just wish I can crush that thing, but I need it for the phone. But my God, I have trigger thumb. It's hard to see now because I think I've gotten rid of it for the day. I took some NSAIDs, a pill for inflammation, but basically my thumb gets stuck in the morning. So I wake up and it's stuck, and it kind of cracks open, it bends. It's called trigger finger, but it's for the thumb. Maybe some of you have had it. It's not very pleasant. But the thing with the cell phone is I can sit on my couch all day long listening to internet, listening to YouTube on my desktop, and browsing and making lists on my cell phone on my couch. And that zone with a joint in my hand. So I got a joint, I have my cell phone, and I have the internet playing. And it's a great state of mind to do nothing in. It's not getting me anywhere. And I think I've been doing that for long enough. And in that state, it seems like all you need is a lot of food. Anyways, I'm just rambling, but I'm not going to be gone for long, that's for sure. I realize I need the internet, I need all the online tools. But I think I need at least a week to get my head together, because I have not seen a Trump video or a YouTube video in 2 days, and I'm already feeling a lot more, level-headed, clear-minded. Put it in the past. It's funny. I don't think it's those. Anyways, I don't talk about that stuff. I don't talk about anything. I'm going to let you guys go. I just wanted to give you an update because it's interesting. We'll see. I'll see now, and I'll see with you how these pills affect my progress, because I can tell you that I was doing really badly. I really was. I've been regressing. I mean, reaching out to my mother and screaming at her. I was no contact zero contact for about a year and a half. I didn't think about doing that stupidity, and I did. So I kind of gave in to her. She probably loves the fact that I'm angry and screaming. Probably listens to it and laughs. Well, let her laugh. At the end of the day, I think a lot of it had to do with the noise. Both the doctor, I saw a social worker, and then that was 2 days ago. I saw a social worker, and the next day I ended up seeing a nurse and a doctor. I told them all my whole story, and all of them focused on the noise and the heat. And they said, it's natural, especially if the noise is there when you wake up for the next 10 hours where you can't sleep. It would drive anyone crazy. If you've got PTSD, you definitely need some medication to get over that, because it's just not human. I've been saying that my whole life. I've been saying that my whole summer. It's not human. It's not human in here. Anyways, on that, I'm going to let everyone go. It's crazy. I have an hour to burn before I can walk down and get breakfast. And let's hope it's big, because I'm starved. It's been days since I've eaten. I have no money. I have no cans. I really have nothing. But I'm starting again from scratch. I'll have no internet again. Hopefully this time I'll make it work, because I've had a couple of these iterations where I thought I'd be back in track and it hasn't happened. And every time I've tried something new, and I think this time I'm in a good position, because I don't need anything. You know, every other time I've been in this position, I've always looked around and said, "Oh my God, I still need this. I still need that. I still have to get a couch. I still need to get lamps. I don't have a printer. I don't have a laptop. Now I have everything." So really, I think that if I go backwards and then a bit forwards, it might work out. Enough talking about myself. And I want to tell you a couple of funny things from yesterday at the medical clinic. One thing that happened was there was this guy talking really loud, and I was anxious and pissed off. Oh, and by the way, I realized it was basically anxiety. Anxiety. I don't get depressed. I get anxious, and that's really what I have to take care of. And I think the anxiety was just killing me. So this guy was on the phone. He's yelling at it. He's talking loud, and I just feel like, lashing out at somebody because I'm still not medicated. And he starts talking about how his friend got beaten up with a baseball bat. So I yell across the waiting room, "Good!" I said, maybe he was a son of a bitch who didn't have any respect for people like you don't. So he goes to me, "Yo, buddy, you wanted me to go and shoot you in the head?" So I said, "Yeah." I don't know what I even replied, but then he goes, "You want to take your chance with me, buddy?" And I said, "Yeah, man, but not in here. That's the whole point of why I said to shut up." Anyways, he basically went to the other side of the room and he started to talk quietly. So although I was extremely rude and aggressive and confrontational, I got the point across. Anyhow, that's me, man. It's like, it's not me. It's me when I'm really bad. That's my worst. That's my borderline. That's my, triggered. But then, this is the funny one. So I was there in the waiting room a good 2 hours. Half hour later, I hear this dude. I recognize the voice. I've told you about him, I believe, in another video. He's the borderline guy I know. I don't know him. I met him once, but I know of him through a girl I know who is borderline. And she's diagnosed, and she told me about that guy. And the fact that they're friends, and she tells me how they have this. I mean, it's obviously he's emotionally off the rails. He's no different than myself. So I'm sitting there and I hear his voice. And he's screaming. He's raging as usual. I mean, he's insane. I kind of look at the guy because he reminds me of me. He's just going insane that the system is bad, and he's told this guy to pick up the phone, so he keeps calling his buddy or something. He goes, "Yo, man, I told you to pick up the phone," and he's raging. He's angry, and he's angry at the system, and everyone around him is pissing him off. But he's still logical, and that's something I have to say about borderline. Is he's not making any. It's not like he's not making any sense. He's just really, really angry to the point of I can almost see his father, molesting him in my mind, or something going on in his youth. And then he finally gets through to his friend, and then his whole demeanor changes to "Dude, please, man," and he's crying. He's crying, from raging to crying. And I go, "There's a borderline." And I thought, that's how we manipulate, I don't think we do it consciously. I don't even think we're really manipulating. It's just our emotions. It's that it's very hard to ignore someone in either of those states. I mean, I was listening to him, and I wanted to help him both times. I wanted to help him calm down when he was angry, and I wanted to help him stop crying when he was crying. And what was going on is that he was homeless. His life was upside down, just like the girl I know who's a borderline. Her life is upside down. And my life has always been upside down. So I realized I just better not leave this apartment, because I had this plan to go back homeless because of the noise. Thank God I got these pills, because I better just hold on to this place or end up back like him. He was basically on the street again. Someone had thrown him out of his place for whatever reason, and he had all his stuff and needed his friend to hold it while he went back to the shelters, and he had some other deal going on, and everything was just it was so much drama that it kind of reminded me of my life and my mistakes, and how my brother, when he was alive, used to warn me, don't do it, you'll be sorry. And he was the one guy who would reinforce in me not to keep making the same mistakes again and again and again. One of those mistakes was going off medication. I definitely should not go off Concerta, and I should always have an anti-anxiety pill like Seroquel, or a Valium or something on hand. It's just good practice. Oh my God, people, I'm starved. I'm starved. I can leave the house in an hour. Okay. See you then.